Welcome everyone to this week's Jet Ship WaspCast. In this week's podcast, we'll break down last week's game against the Raiders, and we look forward to next week against the Bills, which we will get into eventually. We will also be doing our weekly predictions and covering everything Chiefs. Um, I'm Cameron. I'm joined with Kane and Noah.
What's up?
Um, really excited for this one.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good episode.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
Yep.
So let's start off with Monday night's game.
Do we want to get the elephant out of the room real quick, so we don't have to rant about it later?
Sure.
All right, that
It was the worst
roughing the
roughing
passer.
football I might have ever seen.
I think it was.
I still think that the one against Tom Brady was worse.
I don't.
The Chris
No,
Jones one
no,
against
no,
Tom
no.
Brady, not the
Oh, okay. Yeah,
one where he like barely grazed his shoulder and got called for it. I think
that
was
one
a
was
little
worse
but-
because it was in a playoff game.
Yeah, for me that's what makes it worse.
But
I mean, Chris Jones literally he told one of the reporters that he went up to Derek Carr after the game and they were both laughing at it.
Yeah,
And Derek Carr
and
said,
I
"I
guess
don't know how that got called."
I guess they're friends IRL, which is kind of cool
Yeah.
to see.
I yes, that was possibly the worst. I don't understand how you can hold the football in a pass interference call.
That's not even the worst part either. The worst part is the ref literally went back and said, "I would not change a thing."
But the
Yeah, it was
NFL
not
might.
great.
The NFL will after this weekend.
I doubt it. They said that they're enforcing the rules still.
I mean, after this season, they're gonna look at it.
I got you.
Is what I heard.
Yeah, it's needed to be looked at for a few years now. I mean, last year obviously it was a big talking point. It continues to be bad this year. I feel like I haven't seen too much about it until this week. And then this week, everything happened. You had obviously the call against Chris Jones, you had the call that saved Tom Brady. Yeah, it was a bad week for refs in general, but specifically pass interference, or not roughing the passer. All right, now that we've talked about that, let's talk about the actual game. Who wants to start us off?
I will. Since I was there, I'd just like to say it was an amazing atmosphere, amazing game. Nothing to complain about. That's the loudest I've ever heard Arrowhead in my life.
For sure.
My favorite part was definitely the refs you suck chant that I was included in. Yeah, it was something, let me tell you. But I really enjoyed last week's game, and I don't think it should have been that close, but at the same time, I do
They
because
got handed points.
the Raiders are a good team. They're a really good team, and
Yeah, their
record
record
does not show how good they
yeah,
are. Yeah,
I agree 100%.
every of their games have been close, and they've choked multiple times. I really like how we spread the ball out. If I remember correctly, we passed to 9 different receivers. I think our running game went pretty well. Jarek McKinnon did
Dude,
really well.
that
Oof.
third down run, or second and 13, whatever it was, where he just trucked
Yeah.
through kids, that
That was
might have
insane.
been the turning point of the game, in my
Oh yeah,
opinion.
I bet it was.
After that moment, we had all the momentum, it seemed.
I feel like
Mhm.
I personally feel like the game was turning our direction
After the
before the roughing it passes call. Like as soon as that roughing it passes call got called, I knew we were winning the game. Like that is the type of thing. That is the type of thing that will, like, the Raiders shouldn't have left the stadium at that point. Like there was no point in.
Yep.
After that happened, the rest of the team, including Patrick Mahomes, was going to have an over my dead body type of game. There was absolutely no way that they were going to lose that game. No way.
I personally think, like I said, I thought the game was turning towards the Chiefs before that, a little bit before that. But, I mean, after that point, there was no chance the Raiders were walking out of Arrowhead with a win.
Yep.
Completely agree with
Did
that.
we send them
statement.
out with the wheels on the bus?
I wish. I doubt it. But
Oh, you were there.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay.
So Travis Kelsey, obviously.
Mhm. 4 touchdown game, first
Insane.
in his career.
Yeah.
I was surprised because on the broadcast after his 3rd touchdown, they said that was his first 3 touchdown game of his career.
Yeah.
Obviously, he ended up getting a 4th, but I was really surprised. I thought he would have had at least a few 3 touchdown games in his career. I mean, it feels like almost every game is a multi-touchdown game for him.
Yeah. The thing
like
is, he's always had other options. He's always had either Tyreek to take some of those touchdowns away from them, or back before
and he
we
still
had
has other options, but his most reliable is Travis.
back before we had Mahomes. I mean, we had a running game. Even the first year with Mahomes, we had it. And I don't mean to say that like we don't now, but like we had Kareem Hunt at the time, or other running backs previous.
Kareem Hunt.
That,
Did he play in the Jamal Charles era at all?
I don't know. I don't have to line the years up. And,
Because he's been in the league 8 or 9 years
like,
now, I think.
But yeah, like a lot of those running backs have been taking up. Even now, like you get to the one, or 1 yard line, you either got the quarterback sneak with no way, or you got a weird, funky underhand toss.
We invented a lot of plays.
Well, and I mean,
weren't
yeah,
there before Patrick Mahomes.
But before the Mahomes era, we were a team that really relied on the run game.
Mhm.
Because I mean, no offense to Alex Smith, he did great things
He
for
could
us,
pass,
but
he was.
You
I
know.
don't know. He wasn't the best.
Yeah,
I'd say he was like a
wasn't.
Kirk
He's a
Cousins
game
type
manager.
guy, kind of.
He was a great game manager, you're right, and he could run, and he was great for us. I love the guy, but he's no Patrick Mahomes, right? I mean,
Yeah, and he knows that.
yeah.
I mean, I think he was at the game actually.
Was
He
he?
was. He was.
I saw Bobby
And-
Wood Jr.
and
did
Jamal
the.
Charles
Yeah,
was.
that was pretty hype.
And Jamal Charles was also.
Mhm.
I'm so sad the injuries ruined Jamal's career.
I'd just like to say, don't get me started about injuries ruining careers. Eric Berry.
Eric Berry, dude. My
Um,
favorite player growing up. It's heartbreaking.
I'd just like to say, props to Josh Jacobs, dude. 21 carries,
He had a
154
great game.
yards.
That guy's a
I don't know
beast.
what happened to our run defense, but
Yeah.
it was terrible.
Hey, it showed up when it mattered, though. That big 2-point conversion
Yeah.
stop, that
And I
last
don't know
drive.
why they didn't run the ball on like the 3rd and 4th and 1, but
The 4th and 1, I'm pretty sure, was the exact same play call that they bombed us on at the beginning of the game for that 4th and 1, right?
really,
I think it was. Because that deep one, like that first one, I remember Devontae on a post, and Devontae was supposed to run a post if he didn't get trucked by Hunter Renfro.
yeah.
Oh, I think it was the exact
Flipped.
same play
It
call.
looked like it was flipped maybe, but
It looked like the coverage was a little bit better that time. I think we could have made a stop even if they didn't collide, but I'll take the collision. It definitely helped.
I just want to say that second touchdown to Devontae, that's might have been
Phenomenal throw.
the best throw I've ever seen Eric Carr make.
Oh, I knew it was a touchdown. I was watching, and I was watching Devontae specifically on the field. I saw him beat his man. There was 2 guys on him, but I saw him barely beat his man. I looked at Derek Carr, and I was like, "Oh, that's a touchdown, man."
I was pretty impressed with Derek Carr last week.
Yeah.
I
mean,
he didn't pass
19
too
for
much,
30,
but
241 yards.
I've said that. I think I said this last week, but I'll say it again. I think Derek Carr is overhated on.
He had a higher quarterback rating than Patrick Mahomes.
I think he's a lot better than people think he is. I don't think he's top 10, but I think he's close. Maybe like top 13 or 12.
Yeah. Devontae Adams, insane. 3 receptions, under 24 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's freaking crazy.
What? No.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams?
Yeah.
His first touchdown was like 50 yards. There's no way he had under 24 yards.
What? I said 124 yards.
Oh, I thought you said
I'm like,
under
what?
24 yards. Okay, yeah, no, that makes more sense.
No, but
And on the flip side of that, you had Travis Kelce, who had 4 touchdowns and only 25 yards
yeah.
or something like that. That's crazy. That's just a wild stat line.
I just want to point out Marquez Valdez-Scantling was
Great game.
crazy that game. I loved it. I really loved it.
I've
6
really
receptions,
liked
90 yards. Amazing.
I've really liked watching him and Patrick grow as a duo this year so far. I think
Yep.
Marquez has a pretty obvious drop problem. I mean, we saw it last game at the end, or on that one screen pass that he dropped. But if he can fix that, I think he can be really special. And I think he showed glimpses of it that game. He's a rack merchant. Whenever he gets the ball, he gets yards, right? The problem is he's just not super reliable catching it. So
Yeah.
I
I
do.
mean,
Sorry to cut you off. I do want to
no, go ahead.
mention before I forget. To give a shout out to Sam Webb.
he had a solid game.
He played a phenomenal game.
The Excelsior Springs
The
legend.
kid.
The kid for me,
I hate being put in that situation. I didn't know whether to root for him or.
Oh, so let me
I
tell
was
you
just
this.
sitting there like, please don't throw the ball at him.
Let me
Because
tell
if
you
he
this.
gets
It
a
was
pick, I don't know what to think.
I had my Clyde jersey over my Sam Webb shirt I was wearing, and they went up
Did he have
17
a
to
shirt or
0.
a jersey?
I have my shirt,
Okay.
and they went up 17 to 0. I was like, all right, I'm
Did
taking
you
it
take
off.
it off?
I
No
took it
way.
off, and I swear to God, we won.
Did you get booed at?
No,
No.
Did
I mean,
anybody notice?
no one knows what that is. I
It
mean,
doesn't have
any
a
other person who
Raiders.
doesn't know Sam Webb thinks it's a
Oh,
Spider-Man.
oh, I thought it's not like a Raider shirt. It's like a
No.
personal
No.
like merchandise shirt from him.
Yeah,
It's the one.
Okay.
Is it the one where he was still in college?
yeah,
Or the new one? He just came out with some.
the older one.
I thought you had like a Raider shirt with his name on the back or
No,
something.
no. Well, no, that is available for purchase now.
Good. He's in
Yeah.
the team shop. That's huge.
No, you
No,
have
like
to
it's his own
you have
shop.
to make it.
You have to
But
make it. Okay. But yeah, you can still.
I mean, it's
he
his
did
own
play a
shop,
lot
but
more than he normally did last game.
Yeah, he seemed to
I
be.
wonder how much of that had to do with us, him being in KC.
I
doubt
doubt
it.
any of it.
Those they are not gonna
No, I
put
Yeah.
him
know.
in just because it's
Especially
their
in
hometown.
probably one of their biggest games of the year. Like, no shot.
Yeah.
I will, like, he seemed to me like their third down cornerback almost. Like, it seemed like he was only on the field for third downs and he was on the field for a lot of them. Maybe not only on the field, but I feel like most of the time he was on the field, it was a third
I
down.
don't know if third down is like what I think it's more of
Their backup. Like,
when they bring
somebody
in
gets tired.
when they bring in more ABs.
I
Like
gotcha.
when they don't time or something.
Hmm.
I feel like that could be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How about Darius Harris, man? Taking
Yeah.
a big step up for us. 10 total tackles, 8
Oh,
solo
wow.
tackles,
I didn't even
1
know he had
sack,
that
and
good
1
of a game.
tackle for loss.
Yeah. I am really
Freaking
excited to
insane.
have Willie Gay back, though. I think he'll be
Yeah.
back next week.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
The week after?
Yep.
Wait,
Unfortunately.
when I say next week, I mean the week after the Bills,
Oh yeah.
not the Bills game.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So he'll be back the week
I
after
don't
the
know why he
Bills.
didn't appeal, but it probably would have got cut down to like 2 games or so.
I don't know.
If he appeals,
See,
then
the thing about that is that NFL policy for any domestic violence or whatever he got charged with, it doesn't matter what he did, is 6 games or 4 games or whatever, you know.
the
It
thing,
doesn't matter if it was a bad call from the judge. If he gets prosecuted with a domestic violence charge, the automatic NFL protocol is 4 games, and you can't really challenge that.
another thing with another thing with what is the word for it? You just said it. Okay.
Domestic violence
No, with challenging
protocol.
with challenging
Appeal?
appealing the ruling. Yes, thank you. I don't know what I was thinking. The thing with appealing is you can technically you're allowed to play while the appeal is going on. But if they stay in the if they keep the original ruling, you know, and he still has to set up 4 games, then that's an extra, you know, you're sitting out 4 weeks from, you know, whenever the appeal process finishes.
Mhm.
So you're weighing
The inevitable.
the
almost.
inevitable, basically.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of players just go with it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Cameron, this was a while ago, but Cameron talked about how good the atmosphere was. I think that the fans won us that game, to be honest.
The
I mean,
fans
they
are
were
always incredible.
electric.
The fans are
They
always incredible at
they
Arrowhead.
they are. You're right, but that game more than ever, I feel like that game they were like that was something special. And I can't imagine what Cameron felt at the stadium. I was watching on the TV and
I couldn't yell. It hurt.
by how loud they were getting through
I
it.
was out
I
of breath, dude.
yeah, that's what Raider Week does to Arrowhead.
Mhm.
Yeah,
There is normal Arrowhead level
and
loudness,
then there's
and there's
Raiders
Raiders
Week.
Week level loudness.
Yeah,
And
Clyde
then
didn't
there's
have his best
Raiders,
game,
and
but
then on top of that, there's Raiders Week level loudness on Pod Time. That is something special. While I
Clyde
have
didn't have his best game. Patrick Mahomes had more rushing yards than him.
really.
Yeah,
Clyde,
but
Clyde, whenever he's on this year, he's on.
he's
But
on.
he's
Yeah,
inconsistent. I feel like
9
that's
carries
a
for 15 yards.
yeah, it's not great. I
it's
feel
like
like that's a common with our entire running back core though. Like I feel
Mhm.
like every game we have one back that's not doing good and everybody else is on their game. Whether it's Pacheco or McKinnon or Clyde, it doesn't matter. Every game it feels like one back.
that's not a running back thing. That's a offense thing.
I mean, yeah, but
MVS goes off last week. Next week it might be Newton.
Juju or
The week after
Justin
that it might
Watson,
be
Sky Moore.
Hill. We're still waiting for a equal alignment game.
I think
Do
that's
we all
really
think it
due
could
to.
happen?
I think it's this
Yeah,
week.
it could definitely happen.
McCole has been underratedly good this year.
Whenever
I haven't
Mc,
He's
I
been
haven't
hurt
seen.
too.
Yeah, he's gotten hurt every game. It feels like, but he keeps playing through the pain. And I haven't seen very many people talk about him, but watching him, I've been impressed with what I've seen so far this year.
whenever McColl's in whenever he's on the field, it's pretty clear. I think that they're trying to get the ball to him. It feels like.
Then, before we go any further, I do want to mention, this is, I think, a negative, but the shot sitting. My oh my, that guy just keeps getting burnt. And
Yeah.
we'll talk more about
I
this.
think he's on the hot seat.
We'll talk more about this later. When we talk about the Bills, like you all see stuff on it saying that if we see Fenton, you might as well just shot it up as a touchdown.
No, I did not.
He
Nope.
said you might as well just put the points on the board if we
Oh,
see
that's
it.
funny.
We'll
Yeah,
talk about
Keep
that.
look,
on Diggs on Fenton. Is
Fenton,
that?
What did you say,
Fenton
Cameron?
obviously isn't great, but I just, why are we constantly lining him up against our wide receiver one? Like we're not. Spags isn't putting him in a position to succeed. That's part of the problem for me. I think he's just fine against wide receiver 3. But whenever you try to match him up against a guy that's freaking runs at 4'3", 6 foot or whatever, like he's gonna get toasted every time.
It's not Fenton the new Andrew Swanson.
Huh.
I'm
Sounds
legit
like it.
asking. I saw that tweet asking. Is he?
No, I don't think so. Well,
I don't know. He was one of like our top cornerback last year. It's
yeah,
crazy because
he goes
he
through
was like
stretches.
Yeah,
He
he was
goes
like the
through
number
really
one
good
graded
stretches and
quarterback
really bad
through like
stretches.
5 weeks or something last
and
year.
Daniel Swanson had a stretch where he was unstoppable.
That's
That's
true.
true. That is very true.
Maybe
In
he
the
is the
playoffs, he looked insane. Yeah.
new Daniel Sorensen. I don't know. Yeah. But can't wait to have Trent McDuffie back. We'll talk a little bit more on him when we talk about the Bills game, but I can't wait to
Yeah,
have
we're
him back.
probably going to be seeing 2 rookie cornerbacks out there starting next week. Fenton is hurt, so we will probably be
Fenton is
seeing.
hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Um,
that
so
point
it's
might
probably
be
going to
mute.
be.
Fenton is out for sure. We might as well talk about it now since we're on the topic. Brian Cook is out with a concussion. Rashad Fenton is out with a hamstring injury. Tershawn Wharton is out for the season with a torn ACL.
That's unfortunate.
And um, Andy Reid today said that Trent McDuffie is not likely to play Sunday.
Trent
Yeah,
McDuffie has a
so
concussion?
Trent
What?
McDuffie has that hamstring from
A
week 1.
hamstring. Who did you say had a concussion?
Brian
Brian
Cook,
Cook.
rookie
I
safety.
see. I see.
So it's looking like it's gonna be
Jalen Watson.
Legarius, Jalen Watson, and Joshua Williams out there for us.
That's a bit scary, but
Hey, Joshua
I
Williams
believe
was
in them.
covering
I
on
honestly,
the debatable catch for Devontae Adams. He was the one covering him then, and I say he did a pretty good job.
Ooh, that's a good
Honestly,
segue. What's your opinion on that?
on what?
The catch, non-catch on Devontae. I
I
think
think it
it's a
was a
no call.
catch. From what they were showing, it seemed like he had pretty good control over that ball,
Here's
even whenever that foot was down.
here's my thing.
That's just my opinion.
My opinion is my opinion is I don't think he caught it. However, the refs called it a catch, and I don't see anything close to enough evidence
I
to
think there's more than
overturn.
enough evidence there.
I don't even think it was. Personally, I don't think it was close. I think it was a
We've
catch.
seen the one hand come off.
It's possible that you saw different angles in the stadium that we didn't see in the broadcast, but what from we saw in the broadcast, it looked pretty obvious that he bobbled it, and then his left foot came up and then secured the catch, but didn't get his other foot down in
Oh
time.
my.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Sorry, Reese
I'm
Hoskins just
assuming.
hit an absolute tank.
It's 4-0 Phillies for those who care.
Phillies Braves, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a mighty bat slam also.
Yeah, that's a.
Yeah.
I thought that was a walk off until I saw that was the third inning with that bat slam.
Anywho, that is originally scheduled for Eric.
Hmm.
I think the only way we can really tell definitively is if we get a look at that left hand from a different angle. Because the ball can move and you need in control of the ball. And he had that left hand under the ball, but from the angle that we keep seeing, and that we saw, we don't know if there's space between the ball and the hand. We don't know if, like, he only has, like, a finger on it.
Well, and that's another thing. Like the refs down in New York, is that where they have the?
I think it's New York for football, yeah.
The refs down in New York are going to have many more angles than what the broadcast in the stadium has.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have pretty much any angle you can possibly think of,
Okay,
whereas
so
we only get to see 2 or 3 if we're lucky.
So that's a completely different argument. But that really annoys me. If they supposedly, and I don't think you're wrong, if they supposedly have all of the angles that they say they do, why can we not see them? Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with showing America
I
what you're
don't know.
seeing?
That's a great question actually.
Like, is it that hard to get one extra angle on the TV?
I'm not sure. I mean, it seems like we should, but we also don't know what goes on behind the scenes. It might be harder than it looks, you know.
It might
Yeah.
be. I don't know how difficult or easy that process is, but I mean, just from an outsider looking in, that seems like an easy, um,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah.
So yeah,
I think it's a good time to transition into our predictions.
I agree. No, you pulled the schedule up.
I
While you're doing
will.
that, I'll just read out Patrick's stat line from last week. He went 29 for 43, 292 passing yards, and 4 touchdowns, and all 4 of them were obviously to Travis. I think one of the most cool moments I've seen in Patrick's career is how he held up that 4 before that ball was even caught, before that 4th touchdown. He threw it and immediately held up the 4 before it was
Yeah.
even caught. That was sick. That's Patrick Mahomes at his finest. I mean, you could see him on the sideline after that little trash talk section he said I'm here or something like that over and over. He was a different breed after that penalty.
I couldn't tell if he was saying I'm here, I'm him.
On
Also,
him makes more sense.
It does, but
did Max Crosby have his kid? You know?
I think he did maybe.
He was
I thought I saw
he
something
was
about
expecting it as early as the day after the game.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that.
all
Yep.
I knew.
He had a baby yesterday, I think. So
Well,
congrats to them. Hope
congratulations to us.
she's doing great. Yeah. I really like Max Crosby. I think his story is really
I
inspirational.
like a lot
Really,
of the Raiders, honestly.
really quickly, I do just want to. The last elephant in the room, Devonte Adams. That push was not necessary on the cameraman.
Yeah. I've tweeted this out personally to Cameron. I think that it was obviously uncalled for, obviously a bad look, but it doesn't like Devonte has a good track record, and it doesn't seem like that seems really out of character for him. So I'm trying to give him a little bit of grace.
I get that, but at the same time, he people say he apologized. But he did not mean his apologies. In his apologies, he still blamed the cameraman for that.
Here,
And I know people like he doesn't deserve to be suspended, which I'd like to think he doesn't, but based on what Willie Gay got suspended for, he deserves like a 6-game suspension
Yeah.
if we're going by that.
I
here's
will
my
say. Sorry, you go.
on it. Here's my take on it. I've seen both sides of it. I like the fact. Well, first off, I don't think he's ever had any issues before. He seems to be a high character, player.
He seems like a good guy to me. Yeah.
Seems like a good guy.
Oh.
Nice Hartman just made it 6-0 for those who care.
Sorry, Bryce Harper just hit an absolute tank.
Even more than the last one. Anywho, Devontae seems like a good guy. I don't think I remember hearing of any previous incidents like this. You can hurt me if I'm wrong, but I like the fact that he immediately, in his press conference, apologized without being asked about it, you know, previously. If you were asked about it, and he gave you an apology, that same apology, I'd be like, you're just saying that. But the fact that he did it before anybody asked him about it, that to me is a positive.
I get that, but at the same time, he included, yeah, he just ran in front of me, so. But then the guy was like walking before
I
Devonte
think
Adams was even. I
I
don't know.
think
Regardless of what happened, he was a college. He was a college student. It was his first time ever doing that camera stuff.
Wait, that's crazy.
I didn't know any of that.
First game ever.
I
That was his first time
That'd be
ever.
so cool. Like I don't know. That seems like such a fun job. Just being on the field, just taking pictures.
You're gonna have to tell me more info on that one guy later. We don't need to get
Yeah, I
into
read
it
an
now.
article about it.
I will.
You need
I
to
will
send me that
say.
article.
I
But
will say. I don't think he should have walked in front of Devontae, but obviously the appropriate response there is not to shove him over. You know.
hang on. Not hang on.
And people are trying to say that Devontae didn't see him, but if you watch the video, I think it's pretty obvious that
I have
he saw.
a few more points on this. I think his Twitter party also is a positive, although
He
it's
deleted it.
any.
Did he?
Yeah,
Oh,
he deleted it yesterday.
I did not know this.
His PR team probably got on him.
What I would say though, in his apology on Twitter, he did say something to the effect of he immediately felt bad. If you immediately felt bad, don't you think you would turn around
Would have said
Yeah.
something and helped
and
him
at
up or
least
something.
check to make sure he was okay?
Yeah.
Like, you don't necessarily, I mean, it would like to help him up, but if he's injured enough to not get up, you should, be waiving some sort of security or other,
So what? How did he get hurt? I saw he went to the hospital, but was it a concussion or
I don't know. I doubt he is
I
even
heard,
hurt. It's
I
probably
heard
just a money
whiplash.
grab.
I heard
probably just a what?
Money grab. That's what I'd do. I
Maybe.
mean, if
Yeah.
Devonte Adams pushed me to the ground, claim that I
Yeah, I mean
broke
he
my
filed
face.
a police report. So.
I heard, I forget the source, forgive me, but I heard that, it was whiplash and a minor concussion.
Oh, okay.
Um, I don't know how minor that concussion is, but that's what I heard. My last point, sorry to keep going on this topic, I
Brandon
think,
Marsh is a.
I think NFL security needs to be better. I think, yes, Devontae is in the wrong. I am in no way trying to deflect the blame off of him, but NFL security, or Arrowhead security, whoever is controlling that area,
Should not be letting him
needs
walk
to
like that
know
anymore.
that the Raiders just lost by 1 point to a division rival, and they are immediately trying to get off the field. Now, you should not, I don't care if it's the owner of the Raiders, you should be getting everybody as far away from that tunnel as you can. For that reason alone.
We are running a little late though, so we should probably
Oh wow.
get going into those
Yeah.
predictions.
All right. First game was obviously the Bears.
We all three had the
Washington.
Bears.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
boring game.
a boring game. I couldn't
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
All right. Next game was
49ers and Falcons.
49ers.
49ers.
Yeah, shouldn't really be close. Oh yeah, don't forget to add the stuff to the spreadsheet.
If anybody has the spreadsheet open, if I say something that is not accurate, then let me know. What I have on this sheet, please.
Okay.
Because I don't have the second monitor. I have the 49ers in this game.
Yeah. All right. Patriots at the Browns.
I have the Browns.
I have the
I had the
Browns too.
Patriots.
If
Okay. Is Bailey Zappi playing or Zapp or whatever?
I think, and I'd also like to say that
Pretty solid.
Ramondre Stevenson, absolute beast. He's
Yeah.
their new running back one, and he's insane. So I think he's gonna really help them there.
But is it enough for the Patriots to get a win with the backup quarterback?
Personally,
Or
I
is
think
it
so.
is it still the backup to the backup quarterback?
It's a backup to the backup, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, because I mean, Matt got hurt, and then I think their backup got a
The
concussion or
backup
something.
got hurt, but is he still out? Is the question.
I'm not sure.
Either way, I got
Rosebud,
Zapp
are you in
will-
chat? Could you let us know?
I think Zapp won that spot anyway. Honestly.
Yeah, I think so. He's looked pretty solid. All right. Next game. Jets at the Packers. This is gonna be a pretty solid one. Almost the game of the week.
I honestly think this was borderline game of the week. I have the Packers. Only because of Aaron Rodgers.
I really thought about
Yeah.
picking the Jets here, but I'm just gonna have to pick the Packers, I think.
I hope it can hear out because I have the Jets running back in one league and the Jets turn in another.
How's Zach Wilson been doing?
Decent, I think.
Decent.
He's only played one game, right? Or is it
Two,
two
I
now?
think.
In one of the games, they can only win because they had to throw a touchdown pass to him from the wide receiver. But
Yeah.
God, there's gonna be less games this week because teams are on bye.
yes,
Yeah.
this is the first week of buys, on the way, people.
Yeah.
That was at
Check your
Colts.
fantasies.
I have the Jags.
I have
I
the
have the
Colts. I
Jaguars.
think Jonathan Taylor's gonna bounce back.
I have the Jaguars as well.
Yeah, JT hasn't been doing too hot to start the season, has he?
Well, he was hurt last week.
Oh,
So
was he? Okay.
he had a high ankle
James
sprain.
Robinson is gonna run all over.
James Robinson,
Colts.
you got
Probably.
fleeced in that trade. He's not the starter anymore.
He's not?
It's
No.
Travis Etienne season?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Good for him.
It probably will be split
It
more,
will be.
but
Yeah, I feel like they're going to be a
I
running back
think
by committee team, like the
ETN
Chiefs.
won that spot whenever James Robinson didn't convert that 4th and 1 against the Jags that lost the game.
Against who?
The Jags.
Why did he
They're
not
on the
convert it?
Jags,
Or
homie.
sorry, the Texans.
Why
Okay.
did he not convert it? Was it an offensive line's fault?
No.
Okay.
He
I was
he
gonna
just
say, he
like
really,
ran. He took a weird path.
I was gonna say, he can't really blame the running back if he's got no offensive line, but
Yeah.
Vikings at Dolphins.
This is our first game of the week. I'll start us off. I think if Tua is playing, this is a very different game. I think Tua. I don't think he's confirmed out, but it's not likely that he'll play.
I'm gonna have to go Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings have looked really good so far this season. I've been really impressed. I expected them
Monday
to be
Night
good,
Football.
just not this good. Yeah, besides that one Monday Night Football game against the Eagles, which honestly makes the Eagles look even better considering how good the Vikings have been. So I'm gonna take the Vikings here.
Is it Kenny Bridgewater or?
No, he got a concussion too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's
Is he still out? When
So
it does still out?
Sky something. I can't remember his name.
Sky Moore.
I think
That's his second job. Yeah.
I think on the sheet I have Dolphins, right? I'm gonna have to change that to the Vikings and somebody looking that for me, please. I forgot that Kenny was out as well.
Yeah, I have.
I think even with Teddy, it's still a pretty convincing Vikings win.
I think that Justin Jefferson is gonna go off like he always does, and I don't think it's gonna be very close, honestly. Tyreek's optimistic to play. I heard too.
The one time I picked the Vikings to win, I'm gonna get a Kirk Cousins game. Okay. Bengals at Saints.
Bengals.
Bengals. I just have a feeling that it's not gonna be close.
The Saints aren't as bad as I thought they would be,
They're
but
a weird team, dude. Like
they are a very
I
weird
don't know.
team.
Like I see so much out of them, and then another week I see nothing.
Is Taysom Hill their new starter?
No.
No, he got 4 tutties last week.
He was as being a tight end.
I thought they were all like rushing tutties.
He does whatever he wants.
That's true. He can play defense if he wanted to.
I feel like I'm the quarterback this play.
Andy Dalton's been the quarterback.
He's like the epitome of a high school player. Like, you know how high school players can play pretty much whatever they want? They can play 5 different positions in a game. He's that, but on an NFL level. It's crazy. He's the Shohei Ohtani, but sucks. Well, he doesn't suck. He's just not. He's just not Shohei Ohtani. Yeah. He's like Shohei Ohtani is like Taysom Hill 3.0.
Ravens at Giants.
Second game of the week. Who wants to start us?
I'll do it.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think I don't know. This is going to be close. I think the Giants. They've kind of proved me wrong as being just a fluke.
I thought they were frauds. I'm gonna be honest.
I do too, but I mean, they're pretty convincing right now. Saquon, I feel like he's back to his old self. I think I mentioned that last week. I don't know how the Giants are doing it because they hardly have any weapons and so many injuries, but they're doing it somehow. So I'm not gonna to be surprised the Giants win, but I have to go with the Ravens here.
I was going to ask, how on the Giants 4-1?
Saquon Barkley, that's how.
That is how.
And honestly, Daniel Jones hasn't been bad either. He's looked pretty solid.
Good, yeah.
Is he gonna play this week?
Yeah,
yeah, right?
So.
He played last week, yeah.
And he still did good.
I can't believe they won last week was the London game, right? Against the Packers? I can't believe they won it. Packers last week. That was their first real test, I think. Well, they played Dallas, but I think they lost.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
Yeah, they barely.
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
Oh, sorry for that advertisement, people. Right here. I got the Ravens. I think. The AFC is just too strong. And a 3-2 record in the AFC is a lot better than a 4-1 record in the NFC, personally.
Fair.
Saquon is a beast. He is the real deal. He's back. Whatever you want to say. Andy Johns is looking pretty decent. I mean, even for a Andy Johns hater like me, he's pretty good this year so far.
I
But
know it
He's
pains
pretty
him to
good.
say that.
the Ravens are going to walk in there and handle business.
I don't
Unless
think it'll be a blowout, but I don't think it'll be
I
particularly
think it'll be
close.
pretty close.
I think it will be close, actually. Yeah.
unless the Ravens have another fourth quarter meltdown, which is
Yeah,
Which
possible.
is
it's very
very
possible.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Noah said, I think that there's a lot better teams in the AFC than the NFC. There are some still good teams in the NFC. I just think in general the NFC is weaker. But yeah, I've been really impressed with both of these teams so far. I mean, with the Giants, Saquon's been back, and I'm so happy that he's back. He's such a fun player to watch whenever
He's likable. He's very likable.
he's very likable. He's electric.
good
He's
dude.
fun. I mean, his Penn State days, like, I don't watch college football that often besides Mizzou, and even then, I still don't watch half the games. But I would want to watch every week whenever Penn State would play because he's just that electric. It's crazy.
My first,
I'm so happy that he's back.
my old high school football coach was a Penn State fan. I don't know why he was, but he was. And one game it was Penn State and Ohio State.
Yeah, I'll never
In the
forget that
first
game.
play, the kickoff,
Kick
Saquon
yeah.
got the house.
Such a good
From
game.
that
One of the
moment
best
on,
games of the decade.
From that moment on, I was I'm gonna say Saquon fan.
Yeah, I agree. On the other side of things, Ravens have been very impressive to me also. I think they should be 5-0 if they haven't had two fourth quarter meltdowns. They've been very, it's very possible that they should be 5-0. I think Lamar's looked great last week. He didn't play his best game, but they still figured out a way to get it done against the Bengals, who are also very solid, even though their record doesn't really show it. But I think that the Ravens are just going to be a little bit too much for the Giants. I have the Ravens
Cameron,
Okay.
you already go through.
Yeah, I already went.
Buccaneers at Steelers. I think we can all agree Bucks are gonna win
Bucks, it won't be close.
easily.
Nothing else to say about
winning.
that.
If you're a better, bet the over on anything Tom Brady. Really.
Although I will say that I did
Over on
see
yards, over touchdowns, it doesn't matter.
Over
Najee just got
Maybe bet the under on that.
Najee just got a metal plate taken out of his foot, and he's finally 100% back, is what I heard. So
What
we'll
offensive
see.
line?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
well, Najee
Najee
has a
can
lot
be
of
amazing,
potential.
but it doesn't. It takes more.
I
than
like,
that.
I always like Najee personally,
Mhm.
but you can only do so much on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but a lot of their defense is hurt, especially their good players like Minka Fitzpatrick. So I expect Tom Brady to go off.
This is I don't think this is an exaggeration really. I would rather have really an average running back in an A+ offensive line than a A+ running back in an average offensive line. Like, offensive line as a whole might be
Yeah,
the
I
most
mean,
important unit
Yeah, I
in football.
agree.
I completely agree with that statement.
I
Anywho,
mean, the Chiefs have shown it this year. I mean, if we had,
I mean, you saw it in the
if,
Super Bowl a
yeah,
couple years
if we
ago.
have,
We were in it.
if we have this current wide receiver core with the 2021 or whatever offensive line, we would be in shambles.
I mean, look at the Bengals.
Our O line has carried us in parts
The
sometimes
Bengals
this
should
year.
have won the Super Bowl last year. If they had an offensive line.
Yeah.
And they invested in it this year and they got worse.
I
I
still
will
can't believe.
say, regardless if they had a good offensive line, they're facing Aaron Donald, so who knows?
That was a weird Super Bowl. I don't think either of the teams in the Super Bowl were the best teams in their conference. Maybe the Rams, but I definitely don't think the Bengals were last year.
Last year, I think
I
the
do.
Bengals were.
I think the Bills were, or the Chiefs. But
Well, I mean, that kind of showed, too. We were leading to halftime, and then we just
Yeah.
became a dumpster fire.
All right.
Sad.
Anyway,
Panthers,
Panthers,
Rams.
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 Carolina,
It is
not
tough.
Carolina. Cardinals at Seahawks.
If the Rams lose
I
this game, it's time for them to press the panic button.
Yes.
If
Cardinals
the
at
Rams,
Seahawks.
yeah. I personally think this could have been a game of the week, but
What
Who's
is
their new
up?
head coach?
What is up
Who?
with you and the Seahawks?
The Panthers.
Oh, I don't know. It's
Offensive
one of their like
coordinator.
offensive coordinators.
Oh,
What'd you say, Noah?
I said, what is up with you and the Seahawks?
I
What do
think
you
he was
mean?
talking about the Rams Panthers game, not the Cardinals Seahawks.
No, I think the Cardinals Seahawks game.
Oh,
They
okay.
always play
never
each
mind.
other crazy close, and it's
They
always
do.
like
Yeah,
a couple years ago, or I think it was 2 years ago, maybe. They had a game that went into overtime. That was like game of the year, and
they do.
I know, yeah, they had Russell Wilson,
The
but
one where DK tackled Buda Baker. Yeah, that
and
was
Geno
crazy.
Smith is outplaying Russell Wilson right now, and I mean, they've proved me wrong. I think they could honestly be a decent team if Geno keeps playing and doesn't come back to earth.
Much better than I expected him to be.
Were you the
Yeah.
one
mean,
that said they would not get another win this year?
I was.
I know it feels like we say this every week, and we probably do. But I don't think there's a bad team in the NFL this year. There are
The
some
Panthers.
average teams. Well, the Panthers. Okay, there's only one or two bad teams. But like the last few years, there's been a very obvious bottom of the barrel five
Yeah.
teams.
Like
What?
the Browns or the Jets.
To King's point, this is week 6, correct?
Mhm.
And everybody has at least one win. That rarely happens in the NFL. Normally, like the bottom teams, they get like a random win week like 13 or something. This is week 6.
17. Yeah, week 17, the team benches their starters and they went. Like,
Yeah, like this is week 6 and every team has one win. I think the NFL as a whole has gotten better.
I think so too. It's fun to watch. It makes the games more competitive. It's good for the league.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, back to that. Seahawks, Cardinals. Who do you have?
Cardinals.
I think the Seahawks. I think Geno Smith is gonna keep rolling. He's looked great.
Question.
Yes.
Doesn't Deontay Hopkins come back this week?
I think next week.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well.
Oh, well.
Either way, I had the Cardinals, but I think.
Does anybody know if it's a double XP weekend in COD?
Oh.
Because that might. Oh god, dude, the Cardinals are screwed whenever Modern Warfare comes out. Next week? Does it come out next week or the week after? It comes out a week from today or something like that, or 9 days from today. They are screwed. They're not gonna win a game for a month after that game.
You need to just ban them from his Xbox.
They need to have like a baby monitor in his room and yell at him every time he gets on.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Kyler Murray is 3-43 when Call of Duty has a double XP weekend.
I think that's an exaggerated stat, but the record's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
I doubt that actual stat is legitimately accurate, but.
I don't even know if he's played that many games.
I don't know if there's been that many double XP weekends in his career, at least, you know. Bills, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Get into that later.
It's gonna be a scary game.
Yeah. Eagles, Cowboys.
Game of the week.
Yep.
I expect this to be an incredible game. Cooper Rush, who has looked good. The first big. I don't want to say the first big competition they've had because they've faced the Vikings. But it feels like this is the best team they've faced so far this year.
The Cowboys, okay.
No, the Eagles.
You're good.
I'm really interested to see what happens here. I think this game's gonna tell me whether the Eagles are the real deal or not.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna tell you if the Eagles are the real deal?
Yeah.
It's gonna tell me if the Cowboys are the real deal.
I mean, I think this could go for both teams.
Personally, I think that's an absolutely ridiculous statement. The Cowboys have played some really good teams, and they have.
They've beaten the
They've
Bengals,
shown with
the
a backup,
Giants,
they've won pretty dominantly most games.
Again, I will,
their defense has been
I
scary.
see
I
your
mean,
point, but
The Cowboys' defense is the best in the league.
I see your
Micah
point.
Parsons is definitely a
Your defense is good. Your defense is phenomenal.
defensive
No,
player of the year.
their defense are the only team in the NFL to keep their opponents under 20 points. Have only surrendered one touchdown a game so far, and they have about 20. I think it's roughly 22 sacks, and Micah Parsons has 6 sacks in 5 games.
Yes, that is insane.
So
Wow.
I'm not talking about the defense whatsoever. The offense, I think this game will tell me if it's real or not. I think, going back to what I said earlier, the NFC is a weaker strength of opponents than the AFC is. And I don't know, I just don't know yet how good the Cowboys actually are. I think this game will tell me.
Well, they're both in the NFC, so that doesn't mean anything.
You can't argue with an undefeated team, though.
I
But
can
you can't.
argue.
The Eagles are the only undefeated team in the league.
I
I'm
argued
pretty
with them
sure.
last
I'm
week. I
pretty
put them
sure
third in my
multiple.
power
I'm pretty
rankings.
sure you've argued about teams that like. I think you argued about the Giants when they were undefeated.
I probably
True.
I think we all did.
Although,
Honestly.
well,
we
that's
don't
after undefeated after 2 weeks is different than undefeated after 5.
Correct. But, in my opinion, I think this will tell me how good the Cowboys are. I have the Eagles in this game, but I mean, I've been wrong about the Cowboys before. I'll be wrong about them again. Will I be wrong this week? Who knows?
We will find
Who's
out.
who's the home team? The Eagles?
At
Alright.
Eagles.
I think that's going to give them the advantage. I think the Dallas is going to win their home game in the division, but I think since they're home, I think the Eagles are going to win. They have one of the best fan bases in the NFL. Jalen Hurts has looked incredible. Their offense has looked incredible. Their defense has looked very good. I mean, this is just going to be a solid game. A great game.
Here, point no. Cameron. The Eagles, they win only by like 3 to the Jags and 3 to what, the Lions?
Cardinals.
And
the
close Lions too. Yeah, every week has been somewhat close. The only dominant win I can remember is against the Vikings.
So
right?
I'm not. I think. So I'm not saying you're wrong by saying this game will tell you how the Eagles are, but I also think this is a good way to see how good the Cowboys are as well.
See, while we're talking about undefeated teams, I'm not saying that this is going to happen to the Eagles, but you guys remember last year, the Cardinals were undefeated through like what 8 weeks, 9 weeks, or something like that. They were 8-0, 9-0, whatever, and then they just were booty cheeks the last half of the season.
Yeah, they almost didn't make the playoffs. I think.
Oh, what game?
The Cardinals.
Yes.
Like I know it's very easy to be like the Eagles are 5-0, they're the best team in the league. But we have to remember this is very early in the season. A lot can change.
You are correct.
But I still think the Eagles win.
On to our next game. That was a complete robbery of a game of the week. I have the Broncos over the Chargers.
I don't care who it is. I refuse to put the Broncos as a game of the week after the abomination that happened last week. Until they can prove to me that they can score more than 17 points, they're not even touching a game of the week.
All right, have fun seeing them go absolutely off with Russell Wilson throwing
three
touchdowns for over 300 yards this week.
Please
if that happens, I'll make them a game of the week next week. I don't care if they're facing the freaking Texans. They're a game of the week. All right.
That might actually be game of the week because that might be a really terrible.
They already faced the Texans.
I know.
But if Wilson throws for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns against the Chargers, they're getting a game of the week. Honorary mention game of the week.
I got the Chargers.
I have the Chargers.
I have the Broncos.
The Donkeys?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Power rankings. I'm just gonna update you guys.
No,
We are
that's
not gonna do power
yeah,
rankings
okay.
until we're gonna
Next
do it
week?
every other week.
Yep.
So there you go.
Because I mean, if we did it this week, it'd be probably pretty similar to last week's power
Yeah.
ranking.
I mean, there was. I mean, you can't really. It's hard to base things off of one game.
Uh huh.
So I don't. We get into the juicy part of this podcast. Chiefs versus Bills.
Yeah. Before we hop into that, I just want to list off some interesting and important stats. L'Jarius Sneed is tied for the league lead in forced fumbles and is the only defensive back in the top 25 in NFL sacks, which is huge. I think he has 2 or 3 sacks this year.
Amazing.
We're gonna need him to keep playing like that if we want to win next week. He's gonna be a huge. I mean, we'll talk about this in the keys to victory, but I think L'Jarius Sneed is the guy that needs to play good if anybody's gonna play good to win next week. I think especially with our injured DB cord, he needs to really step up and play a great game because it's much needed against that team.
Sean Fenton has to step up, but he's not playing, so.
Yeah.
Our rookies are gonna need to step up.
It's true. Also, well, the rookies hopefully shouldn't be matched up against Stefan unless Spags does a spag.
Well, yeah, could be L'Jarius doing something.
Anyway,
I trust
also
Jalen Watson, honestly.
the Chiefs through 5 weeks lead the NFL in points with 159 points, first downs with 124, and passing touchdowns with 15. So I mean, those are
He's over the top. Offensive scoring.
Yeah, that just proves. I mean, to people who haven't been watching the game, people who watch already know this, but that just proves that our offense is just fine without Tyreek. We've been saying it all offseason. Anybody with a brain, anybody who can look at stats, knew we were going to be fine. But unfortunately, there's some people that are like, "Oh, Tyreek go fast. He's going to ruin the entire offense." But it's just not the case. Yeah. We've been fine, and it's been huge that we've been fine. Other thing to know is that Harrison Butker is expected to play
He is 100%
Sunday.
playing.
100%?
Yep.
Let's go. Huge for us. We need him.
Yeah.
Real quick, we forgot to talk about it for the Rangers section, but hats off to Matthew Wright for hitting that 59-yarder.
Yep.
All 9.
Longest in Chiefs history.
I just don't understand how he could be so
insane,
shaky
but
and ATs all night.
He missed that 35-yarder that we got the holding on, but made that.
He shanked every field goal, and then from 59, he just drills it right down the middle. I don't understand. But thank you, because that won us the game. So you are a Chiefs hero, Matthew Wright.
You'll never play first, and you're here.
I wouldn't go that far. We don't know what'll happen.
He's still on our team, right? Is he on the practice squad?
I don't know. All I know is I think Justin Reed should have had a shot to do it, but
so the way practice squad works, I think somebody can look this up later and correct me. But if you sign somebody off of another team's practice squad, you have to be active the remaining of the year.
I don't think it's for the remainder of the year. I think it's for a few weeks.
Well, either way, that time period is longer than what it's been. It's only been here for 2 weeks. So, what the case would have to do, you would have to release him, he would officially become a free agent, and he would sign that here on our practice squad. If we wanted to keep him around. Like, if that obviously, another team can come pick him up, just like we picked.
I could totally see us drafting a kicker next year at some point in the draft, just for a safe kind of backup.
Not that we're a baseball podcast, but the Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni is at the Phillies playoff game. They just showed him on TV.
I bet a lot of the players are, honestly.
While we're on the topic of drafting kickers, this has nothing to do with the Chiefs, I know, but I just find it hilarious how everybody was like, "That's why you draft a kicker after Cade York hit that game winner in week 1, and then ever since that point, he's been garbage."
Yeah.
It shouldn't
Or at
be.
least, at the very least, very inconsistent. He's missed like 2 or 3 game winners, I think.
It shouldn't beat the
Since that
Raiders
point.
last week.
Yeah, it would have
Yeah.
been really nice too, but can't have nice things.
Yep.
All right, are we ready to get into
Yeah.
our predictions?
You want to do predictions first or keys to the victory?
I think Keys to the Victory
Keys
goes
to
in here.
victory.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that one's better.
Okay.
Also, I do want to make this announcement, sooner than I have been. If you guys want to tell me if you have any questions in the chat now, if you come to ask them, we will get to them at the end of the show. We're not quite there yet, but if you want to start getting those in the chat.
We're gonna start
We
wrapping
will.
it up after this, so
Yeah. Cameron, you want to go first?
I will.
Okay.
I really like the keys to victory because I get to explain about what we need to do right in order to win the games, and I just enjoy talking about it because it puts a good feeling in my head, even though half the time they don't happen.
It
Anyway,
makes us feel a lot smarter than we actually are.
it does, yeah. Anyway,
That's why we're here, right? To make this feel smart.
Yeah.
key number 1, wrap up. I think missed tackles are going to be huge for us
Yeah.
because last year, the Bills game and the Bengals game, the amount of fourth downs there we were that could have ended the game, that we decided to should have been a sack multiple times. I'm pretty sure there's a couple times on fourth down, Josh Allen started scrambling, and we got our arms around him. We just couldn't finish the sack, like we couldn't bring him down, and he just went off for a first down. Happened with Joe Burrow too. If we could just make the tackle, then I think it's going to be huge. Containing Josh Allen really is the key to victory. Second off,
You stole word for word it, Cameron.
sorry, not sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, second off, I think another big thing is going to be our corners really stepping up, and like there's going to be touchdowns scored on our corners, and it's the Bills. I mean,
They're gonna score.
it's going to happen. They're going to score, man. I think we should know that, but it's about limiting their scoring and taking away opportunities. That's going to be the big thing for us, for our corners to be able to stop, and our safeties. I think thirdly is going to be the run game. While we have looked good in the run game, except last week, I think they're going to run Devin Singletary to the ground this week after watching last week, and they're going to think, oh, if we run this guy, that's free yard without even calling half our really good deep in the playbook plays that we use in tight situations. And they're just going to cruise by us. But we need to come out, let them know this isn't going to be like last week. You're not going to just hit us in the mouth with your running back, and you're not just going to run through us like last week. You're going to have to earn your win. And those are my keys to victory.
I'll go next. I'll be the one to say it. I feel like I say it every week. But make your picks. I know Harrison Butler's back. We're all happy. But you don't know how he's going to respond in his first game back after an injury.
Yep.
I hope I don't have to worry. I don't think I have to worry. Because, I mean, even in week 1, he came back and made a, 50 some odd yarder. On one step. Like, I don't think I have to worry about Harrison Butler. But, I'm going to say it anyway, make it hits. Especially this week. If you leave points off that scoreboard, it will come back to bite you. And, my second key to victory, I think, I'm gonna say his name, but it really comes down to all the linebackers, I think. Nick Bolton has to have a good game. I think Josh Allen can run, obviously, and especially in games like this when the teams are evenly matched, he uses that to his advantage a lot. And I think Nick Bolton needs to be that guy that's, potentially a QB spy and make sure that Josh Allen can't just get 3 yards. When we got everybody locked down, we think everything's good, he can just take off for 20 yards. That cannot happen tonight. Or, not tonight, but Sunday night. Lastly, this is a little unconventional, especially considering it's the case. We all know that Chiefs can score, and they can score quick when they want to. I think, and this probably won't happen, but if the Chiefs are smart, they do what teams try to do to them.
Don't let
They
Josh Allen get
keep
the ball.
the ball away from the Bills.
Yep.
You take long drives. Every time you touch the ball, you take 8 or 9 minutes off the clock. And then you have to score at the end of that. But if you take 8 or 9 minutes off the clock, and you put 7 on the board, the Bills are like, oh crap, we gotta score quick. And then they start pressing. And then Josh Allen makes a stupid mistake. And then we get a turnover. That's how good football teams win against other good football teams. They force mistakes. And I know it's unconventional for the Chiefs to play time possession, but I feel like if they did that, and they were successful at doing that, it could really help them in this game.
I really don't think it is that unconventional for the Chiefs, especially this year. I mean, we've seen it already. We are not really connecting on the deep ball. Like our drives have been forced to take times. Patrick has been forced to check down. We've gotten, we get to third downs, but we keep moving the ball. We keep moving the chains. This isn't a team that can get a touchdown in 3 plays very often like we were last year. So I think that it's very likely that we're able to get, to take a lot of time off the clock.
I personally, real quick, I'd just like to add, I think that I'm not saying not like last year, but I think we still can do that. I mean,
I think we can,
last
yeah.
year
I think
last game, you kind of saw. I think it was McCole. He got wide open on that deep pass.
I think
I can't remember what it was. I think it was that fourth down, maybe.
trying to cut you
I
off.
think it was.
I think part of it is Nicole being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's had a game yet this year where he's been healthy. I mean he's been healthy enough to play, but football players play through pain all the time. I don't
I
think.
just like to go ahead.
I think if he had a game where he was 100% healthy, we would see a lot more kicking the cat off the defense.
Yeah.
Maybe not like we might not see it.
Tyreek level, but
We might not see it because it might not, teams are probably preparing for that every week, and it probably won't let that flow happen, but that doesn't mean it's not happening.
See, I actually have a different train of thought here. I think that the players on our team are very capable of getting that deep ball repeatedly, sort of like last year. I think right now it's a chemistry thing. We've seen in the first few games of the season, Mahomes has had a guy open multiple times. They just seem to have a little bit, just a tiny different idea of what their route's supposed to look like, or what he's supposed to do when the ball's in the air. It's just those tiny little things that I think are costing us on those deep balls, and I think obviously that'll come with time. So I expect by playoff times, we definitely have the potential to be that lethal deep threat team that we're sort of known for.
And to your point, King, it seems like every time Mahomes misses a throw like that, whether it be long or short or medium or whatever, he always goes and talks to the wide receiver afterwards. That's how you know that there is not 100% chemistry between those wide receivers and Mahomes yet.
before Kane gets into his before Kane real quickly gets into his keys to victory, I'd just like to say I completely forgot this game was at home until like yesterday.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
We looked at tickets yesterday. Seats are like $200 for nosebleeds. So
Jeez, how many was
insane.
or how expensive was the Raiders tickets?
I think they're like
I don't know what
170 a seat.
Yeah.
Okay. That's prime time too, so.
Yeah.
Money's later sweet.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Is
I'm
it a
just saying.
Sunday? It's a afternoon game.
It's
Isn't
a
it?
3:25 game,
That's what I thought.
I believe.
325.
Man, that's just
3:25 or
absolute
3:05.
robbery not being prime time
It
for
really
that
is.
game.
But I'm also really excited for the. I think the other primetime games
Technically-
are solid, so I'm not too mad.
Technically-
Besides the Thursday night game.
It's not prime time, obviously. But
It's the nationally
it's
broadcasted
a
game.
nationally broadcast afternoon game.
All right. From ice keys to victory. The first one, I already talked about it a little bit, but it's the corners. Obviously we have Rashad who's injured. Gonna have two rookies playing, one who hasn't gotten many snaps yet this season. Jalen's played quite a bit because of Trent McDuffie's injury, but you know they need to have a solid game. Obviously the Bills have a great wide receiver core. But Jarius needs to have a good game. Jalen's gonna need to contain Gabe Davis. Gabe last week had an insane game, had 2 catches for like 180 yards or something wild. So yeah, just contain them. My second key to victory is get the fourth down stops. You know, every time we play the Raiders, they go for it on fourth down a lot. Especially those 4th and 1s, 4th and 2s, 4th and 3s. Sean loves going for them. And if we can get even just one stop out of those, it's a complete game changer. They can flip the momentum completely in our direction, getting those fourth down stops. So much more than, you know, a punt or anything like that. So I think those are huge. And then my third one is that the running game needs to be back this week. Looks like Noah lost camera footage or whatever. But anyway,
I turned it off a minute.
Oh.
Yeah, it was in the middle of the pictures.
I gotcha, sorry. Yeah, running needs to be back on this week. The Bills' defense is elite. We're going to need to find a good balance between the run and the pass, and the run's going to have to be effective so that we can open up the pass. Because if the run's not effective and they know that we're passing every down, it's going to be really hard to find those open holes in the defense and for Patrick Mahomes to have a Patrick Mahomes-like game. So I think the running backs need to open up Mahomes, and that's going to be a massive key to victory, in my opinion.
Can I have an honorary fourth one, please?
Contain
Sure.
Josh Allen.
No.
That's my honorary.
My honorary fourth one. Arrowhead, you need to be better than you were last week. You were not terrible at all. You were great last week. You need to be better than you were last week. You need to be louder. You need to be... The Bills cannot... Josh Allen cannot think on Sunday. That's how loud it needs to be.
Yeah. All right. Game predictions. I want to start us off. This is gonna be a crazy game. I'm trying not to worry about it. I'm trying to stay chill about it. Because in the end, it doesn't really matter. Big
Oh, it
ups
matters.
to, what's his name?
That one seed.
That one band. It does matter for the one seed.
This is
I
for the
think
one
it could
seed. I mean,
decide it.
right now at least.
Right now, at least, yeah, but
But this is going to
it's
be
a long
insane
season. We never know.
if we end up with the same record. I mean, that
Yeah.
tiebreaker is going to
Yeah.
go to us. That'll be insane.
So, I'm a really superstitious person.
Me too.
Right. The last few years, the Bills have both beaten the Chiefs in the regular season, and we've beaten them in the postseason. So it's kind of like a win-win. You know, like if we win, woohoo, we win. If we lose, we're gonna beat them in the postseason, in my mind, right?
I will say... Sorry to cut you off, Human.
No, you're good. No.
I will say... The Bills on offensively still scary. They're still the Bills. All of that. The Bills have not looked great this season.
I think they look very good, but they have a lot of flaws, a lot of noticeable flaws.
And
Maybe not a lot, but those flaws are very
And
important.
Andy Reid is very good about exploiting those flaws. Like week 1, even, the Rams almost beat them. And I think we can all agree the
No.
Rams.
The out game wasn't close.
It
The
was like
Ravens almost
34 to
beat them.
like 10.
What was this?
The Rams did
Oh.
not.
The
beat them.
Ravens almost beat them.
That's what I'm saying.
The Dolphins beat them.
I said the
Okay.
wrong name.
The Ravens
The
should have
Ravens
beat them.
should have beat them. They had a fourth quarter meltdown. On one of their many fourth quarter meltdowns. Oh, the Dolphins. Oh, beat them.
them.
Was that
They
just a
did
backup
beat them.
quarterback?
Nope.
The Dolphins did beat them.
With Tua.
With Tua.
That was the week he first got injured. And he finished the game.
Right. You lost to a concussed quarterback. Wow.
I would like to say, Kane,
Just a foot injury or whatever.
really quickly, just to your us winning the playoff, them in the regular season type thing. We've only lost them once, and that was last year in the regular season.
Maybe the year before I was faded, but last year we definitely lost to them.
Yeah, we did, and it wasn't really close.
Last
But
year, I don't remember the game at all.
Yeah,
last
you
year,
were faded at that time.
yeah, it was 24 to. Wait, no, it was 38 to 20 then.
That was the PB&J game.
That's the only thing I remember. That is the only thing I remember from that game. I think the
Did you already say your score, Kane, prediction?
No, I haven't really talked too much about it.
I think
So let me finish my score prediction real quick. I don't know, man. I think if we want to win, I should have put this as my key to victory, or as one of them. But this has to be an Andy Reid play calling game. If Eric Bieniemy is calling the plays next Sunday or whatever, I think we have no chance. I'm gonna be honest.
do you think Andy Reid's been calling plays lately?
The last 2 weeks, yes.
Is that confirmed or you think?
I think it just feels
I feel
like
like
an
it's
Andy
pretty
Reid
clear.
game.
I
Yeah.
think I agree.
I mean, the offense just gels so much better whenever Andy.
And I hope Trey Smith plays this week.
Oh, that'd be huge. That'd be a big lot. I
Well,
mean, Nick
no.
Allegretti, it was kind of rough, but it wasn't horrible for him.
I thought he played well considering he's
The beginning was rough, that's for sure.
The beginning was rough, but he settled in.
the beginning was worse than the whole team, so.
Also, freaking Orlando Brown is the most inconsistent
Yeah.
tackle of all time, maybe. Orlando Brown Jr., I should say. Like, one quarter he'll be absolute trash, and the next one he'll be pancaking kids 24/7. It's crazy. Back to this week though. As long as Andy Reid is calling the plays, which there should be no reason he isn't, and as long as Spags is aligning the defense correctly, I think we're gonna win this game 28-24.
What was the what's the score for the Heat?
Oh, I already closed it.
I'll pull it.
Sorry, Kane, what was your prediction again?
28-14. No, 24. Sorry.
Okay.
Will you put, if you have the sheet open, will you put that down for me? Noah's pulling it up. No, will you put that down for
You
me?
didn't even put your Broncos Chargers prediction in.
Shucks. I picked the Chargers.
Here, that's put my score on the Heat also. So, I'm gonna go Chiefs win by the score is 30-27.
I am choosing
By a
Chiefs
last-
37-34.
Last second field goal by Harrison Butker.
I think the Bills miss a last second field goal to take it into overtime.
Ooh.
You hear how on the wind's going on the point goes?
I hope it's like 10 seconds this
They
time.
did change the.
I hope
Am I
just every
fading?
time we play, we progressively. That's only for the playoffs, Cameron.
I know, that's what I was gonna ask. I swore they made
I
that for the
believe at least.
playoffs. I think they did.
Did that go into effect this year, or is
Yes,
that
this
next
year
year?
the
Yeah, I
playoffs
think
will
it's
be
this year.
different.
Good.
Yeah, that's a big change. I see the argument for having it the way it is because of player safety and stuff, but
No,
not in the
no, no, no,
playoffs.
no,
anything,
Not
I
in
would
the
rather be.
playoffs.
I guarantee any player would rather be hurt like that than lose.
In the playoffs, yes, I can see the argument in the regular season,
Okay, Mr.
but in
Loud.
the playoffs, no shot.
I agree,
Mr.
but
Loud Manfred.
I think if you seriously did a vote or did a poll with the NFL players, and you asked which one they prefer, I guarantee you it would be
Like,
whose
this
vote
is
Yeah,
get a
probably.
chance to score.
Solana Rosebud, if you're in the chat, this is why I don't like soccer. You can play a 3-hour game, and you can
It's
get
like
no
2
winner?
hours, but yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it can be very frustrating. I agree for sure. So is the new rules aren't college rules, right? It's just both teams have a chance to score.
Yeah.
Okay, but they don't start from 25.
No.
All right. Everybody has their score predictions in.
Yes, sir.
Anything we want to add before we wrap it up?
I'm good.
I think I'm good. Let's cross our fingers and say a
Big game.
prayer and hope the East win.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big test for this team for sure.
Mhm.
But I'm very hopeful. I think. Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, I was gonna say that the Bills were gonna win this game, and then I found out that the Chiefs are underdogs, and this is the first time the Chiefs are underdogs at home in the Mahomes era.
And they've
And
never lost a game as underdogs.
I don't think there's a shot Patrick Mahomes loses a underdog game at home, especially his first one. Like Mahomes is gonna have an insane game. Like he's gonna have an over my dead body game. I mentioned it like he did against the Raiders game, but like he's gonna be peeved off because he sees all these predictions. He sees that they say that Josh Allen's a better quarterback than them, that they have a better coach than them, that that
Mhm.
they're supposed to win, and I think he's gonna come back hungry and ready to win.
I don't understand how you say they aren't gonna coach when the coach learns from our coach. But okay. But, is that all we got? Turn the record up?
Bless me.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
I think that's it. Um, yeah, so let's cross our fingers for this game, and all we can really do is hope, and we will see you guys next week.
Yep. Go Chiefs.
Go
Bye.
Chiefs.